Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. Oh, it's that time where we get to get money advice from my favorite money lady, Cindy. How are you this morning?
I'm doing terrific, Brad. How are you today?
Well, I'll tell you, I am going through a little bit of finances. I'm checking things, and what has been kind of getting me a little confusing is interest rates and how all that works a little bit. And that's what I love about in your book, in your classes, in what you do. You help us understand that. So let's talk a little bit about interest rates. What are they?
Well, right now, interest rate, that's a great question. You go to the bank and you deposit money and you ask the teller, when am I getting paid for interest today? And they go, 0.5%. So interest rates have really come down over the last 20 years. And it's a great opportunity for people to refinance their homes, buy a car on a low interest rate debt, but it's not good. A lot of Americans have used low interest rates to take money out of their home as an ATM. So we want to be careful of what we do with this low interest rate environment today.
So, and right there, you said low interest environment and taking out for different little things. So is that the same thing with investments? Because I know there's like banks and then there's investment. Is that the same thing kind of?
Well, that's a good question. So your bank is typically not used as your investment vehicle because there's no interest there. So, a lot of people then go, well, where can I invest my money outside a bank? You got the stock market and you got the bond market. The problem in bonds is interest rates have dropped. So is the yield on these bonds that you purchase, or a lot of retirees purchase to maintain a good retirement. So I think more than ever with redefining financial literacy, it really gives investors opportunity to learn about different vehicles with higher interest rates, such as commercial real estate and private credit and structured notes. So investors need to be aware of this low interest rate environment and what other investment options are available to help them get yield on their hard-earned money today.
Got it. Okay. Let's talk. Last week we talked about, of course, the family budget and different things. Now we're talking a little bit about the emergency fund, where some people have been using their investment money as their emergency funds, which is not the smartest thing in a way, or is it?
No, no. With this pandemic, unfortunately, it caused a lot of Americans to be caught off guard. 40% of Americans didn't have $400. And what I have found doing my research, Americans didn't have an emergency fund because they had a credit card. And they felt if a medical expense came up or their car broke down, that they could always charge it. And it's unfortunately, that is not your best conducive strategy to build an emergency fund. Because if you get to your limits or you charge too much, that affects if you want to go buy a car, because if you miss a payment or you have too much debt, they're going to charge you higher interest rates. So please, it's really a good rule of thumb. If your fixed budget is $2,000 a month, we try to advise that individuals look at having 3 months worth of emergency fund, which that would be $6,000. Don't rely on your credit card or your IRAs or your investments, because if you have to sell something to pay an emergency need, like last year, when the stock market dropped 40%, the Dow dropped 40% in 10 days, you don't want to go sell an investment at a loss.
So, okay. Cindy, you always stop my head from spinning. I love this each time you come on here because, I start looking at the rates, everything, stuff like that. What I love too is that in your book, and what you want to do is to get people on the right track for finances. Anybody can, of course, be put on a budget. Anybody can save money. Tell them how they can get a hold of you.
Well, there's two ways. You can go to my website, Cinergy Financial, and it's spelled with a C because no one can pronunciate my last name. Cinergy, okay? Cinergy Financial. Or you can call us. We are giving away on your show 10 free books to the first 10 callers. 1-888-210 8777. Along with that book, within 2 days, we'll ship that to you, and then we'll follow up with a phone call. And we're going to give you 30 minutes, an hour, any questions you might have about your finances. Consider it a free consultation.
Cindy, I love it. Thank you very much. Like I said, you always stop my head from spinning when it comes to finances, so I appreciate it. Thank you. You have a great morning.
Okay, you too, Brad. Thanks for having me on again.